What major challenges will Singapore face, and how will you, within the powers of the President, help Singaporeans to cope? Your time starts now.
Well, our first major challenge is that the world is becoming a very troublesome place, a divisive place, a place where the big powers are not seeing eye to eye, and there'll be efforts made by big powers to get us to be on one side or another, one alliance or another. We've got to avoid that. We've got to create space for Singapore internationally with both today's friends as well as those who could be tomorrow's friends. Build economic ties, keep up political relations. Never underestimate the importance of Singapore being well regarded on the international stage. It started with Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and his colleagues, and it's carried on since, but we've got to recreate that recognition and respect for Singapore internationally. Secondly, it doesn't work if we don't have respect for each other at home. We've got to deepen our unity among Singaporeans, and we've spoken about that, and I intend to be very active in promoting that. But thirdly, I would also say, never lose sight of the fact that the biggest challenge facing the world, and every country in the world, including small countries like us and small island states like us, is climate change. We've got to start preparing to adapt and to respond to climate change. It may require some new finances. It may require the use of reserves for long-term investments, and the President has to be on top of understanding that challenge.
Thank you, Mr. Tharman. Mr. Tan, you have 1.5 minutes, and your time begins now.
The major challenges are the global geopolitical tensions, the trade frictions, which affect us badly, and also climate change. But beyond that, we have also our own internal problems. We are too costly a place to live and too costly to do business. So I consider that we need to be more competitive. We must find ways to bring down our costs of property, of wages, to bring down our business costs so that we can be competitive in the world. And these are important challenges that I think the government should address. And certainly I would like to discuss with the government whether how we can work towards this goal to make Singapore a more competitive place so that we can have more job opportunities for our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. Well, Mr. Ng, you have 1.5 minutes, and your time begins now.
Singapore faces two challenges, domestic and international. I think the domestic challenge is that our society, particularly our younger generation, are getting more cynical about government. They're getting less trusting of government. And this is quite worrying for me. And so one very important thing is for the government to restore trust. Trust in the government among the people, especially the younger generation. And how do we do this? I think we have to put right whatever has gone wrong in terms of our standards of trust and integrity. Internationally, of course, there's geopolitical conflict, but as long as we stay united as a nation, we will be able to deal with the risk of the international environment. So staying united is more important than ever, and the President has got to play that unifying role. Because the international environment, though troublesome, also offers opportunities for Singapore. We are a refuge for the rest of the world. And if we stay united, we will be able to exploit all these opportunities. So both a domestic challenge and an international challenge.